much prefer ginger beer to ginger.
Come on. It says we're live. It changed colors.
Lies. All right, let's see here. Okay. If you would like to keep the heat on in the morning and the air conditioner on in the evening, because it's Texas in the fall, donate here. If you like coffee, and who doesn't, you should talk to these guys about your coffee. When you do, let them know you heard about it here.
And also, there's another coffee anthology coming out shortly.
There is, by God.
Friday.
Provided Amazon decides that it's okay.
Friday. We all coming out Friday. If you like smart ass t-shirts, who doesn't? tinyurl.com and Mona Leaves Tees. Friend of ours. Let him know you heard about it from us.
And if you haven't voted yet, go vote. That's really all I'm going to say on that matter.
In honor of Peanut, we replaced the mascot with a squirrel.
Yeah.
With
a glow stick.
Well, yes, he's got a glow stick because squirrel. I would like to point out one election related thing before we completely ignore it. Texas Attorney General Keith Paxton is a dirty, dirty, rotten scoundrel. He really is. He's an honest politician. He generally stays bought. He is, however, dirty, and we all know it. And God bless him. Apparently, the feds decided that they were going to force federal poll watchers at Texas voting areas. And Attorney General Paxton went, "Oh, no, you're not."
Yeah.
And the feds went, "Oh, I guess we're not."
Yeah. They have to be 100 feet away.
Get out.
Yeah.
I love Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, Paxton's
He's our kind of dirty. Yeah. He's dirty. We know he's dirty, but by God, he gets stuff done.
Yeah. Yes, the Liberty Con room block sold out in minutes.
That was just
a
squirrely.
bunch of us got screwed.
That was just squirrely.
Yeah. And they are trying to work on it. So give Brandy a break and
let Brandy work.
See if she can work something.
Yeah, let Brandy work.
It was the hotel. It wasn't.
Yeah. Oh no, it's. I hate to say it, but every year that we've gone there, to the new one,
it's gotten worse.
Well, they've had some sort of hotel related screw up.
Yeah.
For a chain that makes its living. Oh, there's the post guy. For a chain that makes its living in conventions, the one in Chattanooga is not all that competent when it comes to conventions.
No. Nope.
Staybridge is a good.
Yeah.
It's Sanford and the Postman.
Yeah.
The mailman, not Sanford.
That would be an awful lot of stamps stuck to them.
On the spot.
We have a full house with Lisa, AJ, and now Sanford in the house.
We love our postman.
That boy ain't right.
That boy's not right.
So he fits in here real good.
Yeah. Apparently, he was born in a middle-class family, or so he just announced.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! I was born a
Ouch. Is there a letter in your bag for me? I don't know.
The letter Q. Brought to you by Sesame Street.
Yeah. Actually, the other thing is today is Guy Fawkes Day.
Yes. Long live the gunpowder plot. Not one of the better
thought out ones.
Well, not one of the better auspicious dates for a contested U.S. election.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to blow it up.
Yeah. Remember, the 5th of November. The gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgotten. Guy Fawkes and his companions did the scheme contrive to blow the king and Parliament all up alive. 70 barrels laid below to prove old England's overthrow. But by God's providence, him they catch, with a dark lantern lighting a match. A stick and a stake for King James' sake. If you won't give me one, I'll take two, the better for me and the worse for you. A rope to hang the Pope. A penn'orth of cheese to choking. a pint of beer to wash it down, and a jolly good fire to burn it. Holla, boys, make the bell ring. Holla, boys, God save the king. Hip, hip, hooray.
I wonder if they still say penny for the guy.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
more and more these days. So yeah, today is Guy Fawkes Day, and I don't know if y'all. There's another name for Guy Fawkes Day. It's called Bonfire Night.
yeah.
Somewhat apropos, I should think.
Either way,
Jesse says, Guy Fawkes, the only man to ever enter Parliament
No, with honorable intentions. No kidding. Yeah, it's popular. It's also called Bonfire Night.
Yeah.
I told Rita, I've told several people that no matter which way it goes, we're gonna do okay.
Yeah.
Just
We live in Texas.
we live in Texas. We're gonna be fine. Everybody else needs to unhitch their reins. Might not be comfortable, but we'll be fine. All right.
We'll get through
and if not, most of us are old. It don't matter.
it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too.
Okay, let's see here. What else we got going on? I actually had a list of things to talk about, and I can't remember any of them.
How about too much company over the weekend?
It was a very busy weekend.
We had a fun weekend.
And it was fun. It was fun. Tully was here, and Ben Yallow was here, and
Mike Burke.
Mike Burke was here. Bex May was here. It was
It was a
Jim's
full
house was busy, and Cedar did smoked and roasted chickens and
Oh, yeah.
19 friggin' people.
It's not the biggest dinner we've had,
No.
No, but it was close.
but it was packed. Yeah.
And what thrilled me to no end was the number of people taking carcasses home to
Yeah.
make broth.
There's going to be a lot of soups coming up.
Good, thank God.
Yeah.
I love me some chicken soup.
We already had some.
Okay. I went down to San Antonio Friday to visit with an author, and Nick Nethery, Intern C version 1.0. Went down there to visit. It's down in San Antonio, and I left early in the morning. And I have since decided that San Antonio trips are going to be a 2-day affair. 281 is lovely, it really is. But the number of whack fuck deer I saw, roadkill deer, that I saw on 281, both down and the way back up, was Texas hunters need to step up. There are way too many deer being hit by cars down there. So I'm on my way back. And it gets dark, and bearing in mind all the whack fuck, all the deer. Whack fuck deer. Whack fuck is a young officer terminology for motor vehicular accident involving livestock or game.
Yeah.
It's like
Better known as hit it, whack, fuck is the next word out of driver's mouth.
Sometimes it's oh shit.
Yeah.
Statistically, it seems to be fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm on the way back, and I'm in my little silver Corolla, having just. I've got the adaptive speed control set the speed limit, and I'm going along, and it gets dark, and I click the high beams on so that I can see eye shine far enough down the road to be able to do something about it.
Yep.
Well, there's a blue luxury car sitting on my butt, and I mean for like miles and miles and miles. Anywho, I'm going along a little north of one of the cities down there, and see eye shine. It's like, oh boy. So I scoot over. It's on the right. So I scoot over to the left. It's a mesquite on the right. Wasn't moving, but I know deer. It's serving courtship season, and they lose their tiny little minds.
Yeah.
So I move over and start scanning the median for in case I need to scoot that away and not hit a culvert.
Yeah.
And little blue sedan decides that, well, this is just it. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. And over the radio, I hear this car downshift. Goes right past me.
Yes, servitor deer.
Servitor deer, yes. And apparently, the god of deer is a law and order type. Because as soon as Sport Doors Zidane kicked a high deer went, oops, and jumped out in the road. It's like, oh boy, I know how this goes. So I tapped the brakes and scooted in behind him so that he could clear the way, so to speak. And he did a whonk. And I was watching the deer, and the head got past the headlight. And so he center punched the body, and the deer starts counterclockwise down the road. And all of a sudden, all these red lights, you can brake lights galore. I back to the left, and I've got the counterclockwise spinning deer and the car and the luxury car. So I thread the needle. I was kind of proud of myself. Get it stopped.
Driver training.
Experience.
Yeah.
Get it stopped. Rock to pull, break the seal. Get the seat up. Anyway, hit the flashers, back up, and get out and look at the deer. And deer is in the median, and deer am dead.
Yeah.
Deer am ex deer.
And nothing worth taking.
I wouldn't bother. It's Texas.
Yeah.
They get pissy about that sort of thing. People keep asking, well, did anybody get deer loins? No. In Texas, if you're not law enforcement, hands off roadkill deer. That's Parks and Wildlife. If you can harvest roadkill deer, but it has to go to a food bank. Anywho, so I walk up to the car and I see inside there's a teenage boy and he's locked. And there's airbag dust everywhere. And inside his arms are burned. And he's
I
going
want
to
to know how he managed to hang on to the steering wheel when that.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
Or a regrip.
Whoa. Regroup. Yeah. As I knock on the window and he ain't moving, so I cop knock the window. He jumps and opens the door. I said, "Got that ass, huh?" He's like, "I think I hit something." I look at the deer. I said, "I think you're right."
Yeah.
Said, I think I hit a deer. Did I kill it? I said, "Don't worry about it. They're making more."
Yeah.
Trust me, they're making more. And I see his Adam's apple start to bob. I said, if you're gonna yark, do it that way. Do not throw up on the good guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes over and just blark. Up comes everything he's had for the last 2 weeks. And he is
including toenails.
I scanned. It's a luxury car. I was looking for a blinking red light, but it wasn't blinking. Apparently, in this particular model, you have to buy or you have to lease the emergency.
Yeah.
So I flipped down the safety and hit the button. And this, whoever they're hiring at this luxury place to be the voice of, apparently previously worked at a 900 service.
Yeah.
Because very nice voice, no accent. And it's like, this is so-and-so. Has there been an emergency? Is there an emergency? I said, yes, ma'am. But damn, no accent. I said, the little blue luxury car that this is attached to has just had a kinetic deer interaction. There's a pause. She goes, oh, I see. Are you the driver? I said, no, ma'am. He's currently stress barfing. And then he goes again. It's like, there can't be anything left.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Scooter, if you taste rich Corinthian leather, swallow hard because that'll be the seat. You don't want to puke that up. It gets really interesting. He stiffens up. She starts giggling. She said, sir, what agency are you with? I said, I'm not. I said, oh. So I say, we're in X county in US 21 in Texas, X county, approximately, wide number of miles north of this city in a northbound lane. He says, thank you, sir. You sure you're not first responder? I said, I'm sure. So I need your name. I said, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And she gets real, sir, I need your name for the report. I said, oh, my bad. I said, first name is Millicent, last name is Bystander, common spelling. And I hear her go, wait a minute. Look at that kid. You done puking? He goes, yeah. I said, all right, you're going to be fine. wait for the woo-woo crew to get here.
Yeah.
And they'll talk to the nice ladies that get here. And I hear, sir, sir. It's like, Toodles, sir. I get back in the car and take off. Somebody's going to have a really interesting story to put in their evening report.
Uh,
For that matter, the kid's going to have an, if he was conscious of what was going on around him at the time, the kid's going to have an interesting story.
Yeah.
Sir Brass, lady probably went from 911 dispatch to this service. No, not with a voice like that. She didn't.
no. Trust me, you can tell who's been a 911 dispatcher.
Time till they listen to the recording and recognize your voice. I seriously doubt they're going to recognize the voice. It's even a funnier life. Well, thank you. It's people, did you not get, do you know how many kinetic interactions between vehicles and various
Deer,
animals, hogs, deer, cows,
Yeah.
that I've had to deal with? Millicent bystander, common spelling. M-I-L, wait a minute. And for those of you who don't know, that is a reference to the cartoon Flushed Away. Hugh Jackman was played a mouse, and he's accused of something and says that he's an innocent bystander. It's in London, so it's immediately, everybody said, I think his name was Millicent Bystander. So I've been reusing Millicent Bystander for a while, because I used to use Athelstan King.
Yeah.
From Talbot Mundy's, I've forgotten the book. Talbot Mundy wrote a book, and the lead character was Athelstan King. I used to use Athelstan King all the time for anonymizing myself or signing guest books. I never signed a guest book with my real name, ever. But I used Athelstan King until one of the things said, "Oh, I didn't know you were an S.M. Sterling fan." It's like, the hell are you talking about? Athelstan King, that's S.M. Sterling. I said, no, it's not. It's Talbot Mundy. Who the hell's Talbot Mundy?
It's also S.M. Sterling.
Philistine. And that's how I discovered S.M. Sterling's Peshawar Lancers, because Athelstan King is the lead in Peshawar Lancers. And so I stopped using Athelstan King because people started recognizing it. But nobody, except for, a certain X 900 operator, usually gets Millicent Bystander.
I still say you should have used Rodney King.
Oh, nope, not going there.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom, our friend found out the hard way what an armadillo does to
Oh, no kidding.
little BRZ. About the same thing it does to the underside of a VW.
Well, the thing about armadillos is when they get startled, at least Texas armadillos,
Yeah.
when they get startled, they jump.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, and also what people don't mention is when they jump, their front legs are doing this when they jump. So if you come around a building doing a prowler search and you startle the armadillo, he gets about belt level doing this.
Yeah.
And that will cause you to move with a quickness. But if you startle one and it jumps and it hits the bumper, it will trigger an airbag every time. So don't ever honk at the armadillos to get them to move.
Yeah.
They don't. They just jump up where you can tag them with your airbag sensor.
Yeah. God.
He's giggling. That makes me nervous.
Oh.
When I was a young deputy at the 1st Bug Suffolk County, my take-home pay for the month was $999 and change.
That was good money in 1870.
You're thinking him, not me. And so there were a lot of times the game warden had the apropos name of Gary Hunt, was the assigned game warden to our area. And he would turn a blind eye because I was on call for DPS had to work an accident outside the city, but we'd get there first to set up, safety.
Yeah.
And I got really good at ditch rolling the deer because I was hungry and I could get the back straps and the tenderloins and nothing flat.
Yeah. I remember a friend of mine, a nurse down in Georgia. She was a home health nurse. And in a week, she hit a deer. Her husband, who who's a corrections officer, hit a deer. The daughter hit a deer, and the boy hit a deer. So 4 vehicles down for deer.
The North American hoofed rat
Yeah.
is not going anywhere.
Right, and
So
by the
the-
way, if you see the deer ahead of you and you slow down so you don't hit him,
Yeah.
and he goes across the road, prepare to be bombed.
Because there's going to be 4 more following him. Yeah.
No, he'll go across the road,
Turn
up
around.
the hill, turn around, and jump on your car.
And turn around and come back.
Yeah.
For some reason, they'll do that. They'll go across the highway, then turn around and go back. I don't know why.
But the insurance adjuster was a little curious, as she said, about why 4 cars in 4 days with 4 different deer. And she said, well, I'll have to come out and physically inspect.
It's a deer.
She hit a deer. Said, not a problem. Sign off on it.
Yes, King of Kyber Rifles by Talbot Moody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, during cervid courtship season, they lose much like teenagers.
Yeah.
They lose all common sense, not that they had much to begin with. And but the North American hoofed rat, people, for God's sake, people, get your hunting license and go shoot them. They're everywhere.
And when they are in that mood where they're all ready to mate, if you have a brown car, they may consider you a fellow deer.
Yeah.
Like teenagers, they ain't very discerning.
Yeah.
Or discriminating.
The bad one, though, is when they run into the side of the car.
That's where
Yeah.
that's where my experience with the one jumping off the hill on me
Yeah.
was. It came into the side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only deer I've ever hit, I didn't hit it, hit me.
Have a good one, Ben. Yeah.
Man, 20% voted so far. Well done.
Yeah. They've,
The voting, I'm going to be interested to see the voting numbers this
Yeah.
year because it's been, historically speaking, we only get about a quarter of the population voting.
Yeah.
Historically speaking. I think this year maybe a little more than quarter, 1 in 4.
we'll see.
And of course, the graveyards, I think, are going to be out in force.
Well, I don't know. The Republicans have, they've learned and they've stopped being nice.
Yeah.
They stopped taking the high road and they've got battalions of
Lawyers.
legal sharks running around.
And they've also been filing cases ahead of the election.
They won one in Pennsylvania. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That wasn't a win. That was a bitch slap.
Yeah. But you talk about hitting things. Many years ago over by equipment, I was riding with my uncle in the oil field truck. We were coming back to the house. And if you've ever been out in oil field territory, it is freaking dark out there. And there are usually cattle out there. And we center punched a Black Angus
Oh.
doing about 40 miles an hour.
Oh.
Now, this truck
And
had
stopped.
this truck had a full bully bar on the front made out of a railroad tie and sucker rod. So this is not some little piece of shit, front bumper like you see on a lot of the trucks. This was a real one.
This was an actual bumper.
This
Yeah.
is not a Chevy Love truck.
No. And
The frame was going to give up before the bumper was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we hit that deer or hit that bull, and he folded that whole bumper back over the engine and flattened it down.
Bull, cows are solid.
And they ain't
And-
no brighter than deer.
Yeah.
No,
And
no.
got up and walked off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, meanwhile, we, however, could not drive. So we had to walk about 4 miles,
Dizzy and upset.
dizzy, upset, and in the friggin' dark because the only flashlight in the truck got broke. So, and there was no moon, and it was pitch dark out there. And we finally got home about 2 hours later. And I remember Aunt Laura said, well, I was wondering if we were going to have to come looking for you. And my uncle said, well, we made it within 4 miles of the house. Said the truck's totaled. Said, have to worry about that tomorrow. And she's, okay, well, not the first truck you've totaled. Did you get the cow? My uncle went, no, the son of a bitch got it and walked off.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
There are one of the ranches up in the Panhandle has Brangus,
Ugh.
which is a cross between a Brahma and a Red Angus. I like Red Angus. I like red cows. I dislike black cows intensely, mainly because in Texas, a black cow doesn't make sense.
Absorbs too much heat.
Too much heat. And they're miserable all the time. They tract everything that bites.
Yeah.
Zeroes in on black. So black cows, black Angus are not smart in Texas. And finally, the King Ranch finally pulled their heads out, and all of theirs they're breeding reds. Their American Red is a hell of a good beef animal. Anyway, when you hit a Brangus, a Brahma Angus cross, it doesn't fall over a roll. It blinks and looks at you over the steam coming up under your radiator.
Yeah.
It doesn't fall over. That is a solid chunk of burning love. I'm here to tell you.
Not 1,200 pounds worth.
At least.
The worst way to hit a cow is to have it decide for some reason to lie down in the road on its side with its hooves toward you. When you find it the hard way, at way too much because we were young GIs.
Yeah.
I think we were doing around 65 or 70. And we got on the base ahead of time. We didn't have to go down to the gate. We went over the fence.
Yep. It launched you.
Oh, yeah.
You just rolled right up over the top of that cow.
Big hogs will do that too.
Yeah.
If you got to hit something, hit a deer.
Yeah.
If you hit a hog and you hit it with the headlights, you'll go over, and that's never a good thing. If you hit a horse or an elk, it comes through the windshield at you.
Okay, 12 to 14 pounds. Thank you, Cedar.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Yes, if you hit a cow, your car is toast.
Yeah.
Half the time it doesn't hurt the cow.
Especially hit it in the head.
Yeah.
Hitting an emu is a whole different, or a peacock's a whole. If you hit a drag chicken,
Yeah.
it is not fun. Something that small should not be that big of a pain in the ass. But when you hit a drag chicken, that ain't pretty. I hate people. I don't know. Hate may be too strong. I intensely dislike people that get the exotic game ranches, and then when they go bankrupt, they turn them loose.
Yeah.
Because they're being kind. Those people piss me off. Because that's the way I lose 10 years off my lifespan, looking for something back in the canyons, and when a peacock screams behind me,
It increases your laundry bill because you got to wash the underwear.
Yeah.
that ain't no lie.
Yeah.
10 years off
I
my
wish you wore the brown pants that
Yep.
day.
10 years off my life and 10 pounds in my underwear.
Yeah.
Why is everybody laughing?
Because we've all been there.
We've all been there.
I hate drag chickens anyway. I don't. Is Tom Riley to be on here?
Not yet.
Buzzards ain't a whole lot better.
Oh, don't hit a buzzer. When you hit a buzzer, it explodes,
Yes.
and it does. It explodes.
And it stinks.
It stinks and it's corrosive.
Yeah.
Because buzzards have guts that will dissolve everything up to including teeth and bone.
Yeah.
To do that, that requires a very, very corrosive. The guts are corrosive.
Yeah.
So you hit one and it goes.
And if you don't mind your front bumper being gone.
Yeah.
And at the time I was driving the cars, I didn't mind the front bumper being gone.
Yeah.
And you don't mind the girl being gone. You do mind that when those guts explode and go through the radiator, you're shortly needing a new radiator,
The radiator,
which
and,
costs more than the car did.
and not only will it eat the paint, but it'll start dissolving the metal.
Yeah.
If you hit a buzzard, as soon as you're done with the paperwork, take it to a car wash and run it through twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd. Never fly a light aircraft under a buzzard. Yeah. That's, the rule is airplanes go up, birds go down. So if you're flying under a buzzard, he's going to dive into you.
There's a radio tower here in town that Rita loves to go look at because the buzzards love it.
Hey, Mikado.
And I'm looking, and they're easily 100 buzzards, vultures on this damn thing. And I'm looking at what's below it thinking, I'm so glad I don't have to work here.
Well, imagine how much of that stuff is corroded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I could just hear the vultures up there right now. Patience my ass. I'm going to kill one of them.
Yeah.
Emus suck to hit. They'll come through the windshield too, but they're light enough that, okay, emu through the windshield.
Yeah.
Horses, don't hit a horse. Do not hit a horse, especially if somebody's on it.
Not gonna move.
And do not hit a moose. Although down in Texas, we don't have much problem with the mooses.
Moose, elk,
It's in Oregon.
and horses will come through the
Yeah,
windshield.
they'll come through the windshield.
And according to Marlon Perkins' aide, Jim, do not hit a rhino.
Oh, I can tell. Do not hit a rhinoceros. Do not hit a hippo.
Well, the rhino would probably hit you.
No, rhinos are adorable and they're dumb.
Until they're annoyed.
They're adorable, but they're dumb.
Have
And-
you seen what a rhino will do to a car to
Oh, yeah.
piss them off?
When you hit a rhino and you stop because you're trying to figure stuff out, he's going to decide you need to be upside down.
Yeah.
And he's going to make you go upside down. You hit a hippo, he swears a blood oath on you and your family and your descendants and your dog and your goldfish, and is going to slaughter all of them.
Yep.
Hippos are evil.
And he makes a pact with a water buffalo for
No kidding.
mutual assistance.
And if you smack into a cape,
Yeah.
a Cape buffalo, don't.
Yeah.
You hit a Cape buffalo, everybody, all of his friends show up.
Yeah.
Rhino just gets annoyed and takes apart your car because it's your car, so I'll be upside down.
Friend of
And-
mine's an Alaska State Trooper. And every once in a while, he'll send me videos. A couple of years ago, he sent me one. Was a call out for a woman hitting a moose with a van. He got there. The moose is in the back of the van, still alive.
Ooh,
There's a 2-year-old child in the child seat in the second row.
Ooh.
And he's sitting there going, I got to do something here. So he had to get an angle where he could shoot the moose.
yeah, you had to kill that moose because it'll start thrashing.
Well, it was starting to come around and thrash.
Blam.
And so he went back, got his 45-70 and capped the moose. And the mother is going, my baby, my baby, my baby. He's going, ma'am, she's fine. She's fine. Here, takes the baby out. Well, of course, the baby is covered in moose blood.
Huh.
And the mother does one of these thud with the baby in her arms. So now he's got a mother on the ground with a concussion because she smacked her head, a baby covered in blood, a dead moose in the van, and he's 20 minutes from Fairbanks. So he's sitting there going, let me see, I got that. So he's trying to do first aid on all of them. And he's trying to figure out how to clean up the 2-year-old. And he doesn't have enough water to clean her up. So the rescue finally shows up. And he said,
I need all your saline.
huh?
I need all your saline.
Yeah. He said, first thing he told him was, the baby is fine. It's moose blood, not her blood. The mother has probable concussion, possible skull fracture from falling. Once she saw the baby, the moose is dead. Now, carry on. They did. They used every bit of saline they had on the rig to de-blood that kid.
Yep. Kermit asked if you hit a hippo while you're in the water. At night, hippos come out of the water, Scooter.
Yeah.
Hippos are on dry land at night when you can't see the big bastards.
And have you never heard of a boat?
I've seen Range Rovers hit a hippo at night, and that hippo will will take the hippo knows you're driving it, and
Yeah.
it will take the Range Rover apart to get at you.
Yeah.
And it'll bite you in half. There's a Eastern European outfit. I don't know if they still do or not. Back when I was still carrying a badge, Eastern European outlet called D Duplex, Delta Duplex, and they make a shotgun round called Caviar, Kaviar, and it's a pre-fragmented. It's a load of number 9 or number
Yeah.
12 shot in a plastic matrix, and once it hits something, it just disintegrates. And I started carrying those to dispatch cows and horses and stuff, camels.
Yeah.
Because slug or buckshot goes through and then wanders on down the road.
Well, maybe you should have carried one of those for pigs, considering some of your pig stories.
No kidding. No kidding. Camels, camels kill people on a fairly regular basis.
Now,
I hear
I,
that
saw,
counts.
I saw Truth the other day. They said it was someone who said cattle kill 300 times more people than coyotes do.
Yeah.
Of course, if you herded coyotes
Yeah.
into a corral and
Yeah.
worked with them all day, it might change the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you were herding and branding coyotes,
Yes,
Yeah.
camels will kill people.
camels in Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big experiment some decades back, A&M, because it's A&M.
Actually, post Civil War.
Well, this experiment, there was a researcher at A&M who decided that because camels were at one time native to Texas back in the Pleistocene, whatever the hell it's called.
Pleistocene age.
Back in the day, we had camels in Texas, and this researcher decided that the reason that mesquite was a flat bush was due to camels. It was evolved to deal with camels. So he got up here in Wichita County. He found a landowner that would do an experiment, and they fenced off, I think, a section of land, 640 acres of mesquite brush, and turned a bunch of camels loose. And within 2 years, I think, every mesquite on that property was a tree, had a central stump, went up, and the central trunk went up just above camel reach, and it was an actual tree. And it turns out if you have camels that can eat the mesquite, they'll actually turn into trees.
Yep.
Interesting experiment. And then when it folded, we had a bunch of camels running around.
Yeah, in the 1870s, some wag, probably from A&M, decided that camels were more effective for wagon trains than anything else. In
Oh,
fact
the ammo
trains.
trains. The ammo trains, yeah.
So they brought camels to Texas for
And
the ammo trains.
and Arizona.
The cavalry did.
Yep.
Yes, there was a story of scandal in the Mideast over the camel contest. Botox was used by the owners on the camels. Yeah.
Only people from that part of the world would worry about Botoxing camels for appearance.
Well, if your camel is beautiful, you can sell it for more money.
Only people in that part of the world see a camel with Botox being more beautiful.
I could go so many places with that, and I'm just gonna leave that one on the table.
Yeah.
I went as polite as I could about it.
And actually, there was a Saudi prince. Camels are a big thing in Saudi Arabia, by the
Yeah.
way. There was a Saudi prince that paid a lot of money to send some Bedouins over to milk the camel,
Yeah.
and take it back so that he could improve the bloodline of the royal herd.
Yeah.
But there were a crap ton of camels, and then we had 2 people get killed. The kissing camel here in Ichipa County, actually had 2 people get killed, and the sheriff's office discovered that a 5.56 ain't good for taking out a camel,
No.
because they wouldn't listen to somebody that knew about camels.
Is there anything that 5.56 is good for taking out?
Coyotes.
Okay.
Coyotes and squirrels.
In other words, varmint round.
Nothing like listening to the range master
Yeah.
The monkeys do.
go, and a camel go, "You motherfucker!"
I've
Should
heard
he
Ian.
use
The
a
only
12
thing he's going to
gauge?
think is small enough for it is the right size for a monkey is 155 and up.
Monkeys.
Well, the thing about the Bedouins and the Arabians is they are now 3 generations from living in the desert, and the camel was their
Either way,
transport,
That's everything.
their pride of ownership, their wealth, whole 9 yards.
Everything. It's how they survived.
Yeah. For 2-legged used gold dot Federal Fusion. Yeah.
Put a 12 gauge. If somebody listened and just put a 12 gauge in
Yeah.
a camel's head, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Why is everybody hung up on AR platforms and 30-06 and 50 BMG?
Why? They already make a 308.
308 rifle is fine.
Yeah, 308 AR-10. You've got my AR-10.
Yeah.
Use an AR-10.
But why?
I
You
don't
know,
know.
it's that much recoil is going to round out those friggin' holes because it's all aluminum.
I don't know. I
I don't understand why people like I hate the AR platform.
I don't mind it. It's don't get me wrong.
Man, Barbie.
I love the SLR. I really do. SLR is a good rifle. It's a hell of a good rifle. I'm going to give points to the AR-10 for being a little more intuitive, a little more ergonomic. The SLR is not as ergonomic as one might like. AR-10 is the American SLR, and that's
Yeah.
When you have my problem with the AR platform is when you have to jack the sight and it rear sight an inch and a half above the front sight in order to get a level shot.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
yeah. You need to have that rifle looked at.
Well, I just, my problem with it is the recoil factor and what it does to the lugs.
Well,
But most people don't shoot the AR that much.
I shoot the
No,
crap
I
out of. I mean, I have shot the crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting away from semi-autos. I'm gonna have an AR-15 and AR-10.
Yeah.
And then I'm going for levers and bolts
Yeah.
because I'm past the tactical Timmy stage of my life.
Bolts are more accurate as a rule of thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and they're lighter. They're lighter. They're more
you
accurate.
get the same lockup every time,
Mm-hmm.
which you do not get with an AR.
No.
What I'd like to do is get back into gunsmithing.
Yeah.
I don't have the time or the money or the space, but I like to get back in gunsmithing. I want to take a Ruger American in 5.56 and rebarrel it for 25-45 sharps.
Yeah.
And give that to Rita because 25-45 sharps will do an 87 grain bullet at 3,000 feet per second.
Yeah.
Out of a 22, 24-inch barrel. And that's just a 250 Savage.
Yeah.
So I like to, and our whitetails down here run 80 pounds. 120 pounds is a big whitetail in Texas.
Yeah.
Although they're getting better. There are some intensive breeding.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, I'm not sure we want 300-pound whitetail in Texas.
Of course, if you get over the west side of the state, you get the Muleys.
Yeah.
And they are big.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but haven't you already said what with the whack fuck deers that we got enough deer without improving the breed?
Like I said, the American or Texas hunters need to get out there and trim the North American hoofed rat population because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They are. I swear to God, I saw 20 blackfuck deer.
Yeah.
There and back, not including the one that got hit.
Well, the problem is the hunting has become so restrictive that a lot of places now they are.
He's fixing to kick into a rant.
Well, if you're an old fart, you remember when Texas had a rule that you could not take spikes.
Mhm.
And we went about 3 or 4 years where you could not take a spike deer in Texas. And all you had was spikes. you very seldom saw anything with 4, 6, or 8 points.
Well, that's changed.
And Texas DNR finally went, oops, I think we made a mistake. Okay, you can take all the spikes you want,
Mhm.
and you can take a spike on a doe tag even for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
That took the spiked population way down. Then we started getting real deer with real racks again.
We've got some. I saw Kat's putting up pictures of deer that are. She's got some atypicals.
Yeah.
Coming to her feeders, and she's got an atypical. No, it doesn't have the cow catcher horns. It's a what is that thing? An 8 point.
Yeah.
And it's going to go about 120.
Yeah.
It's a good heavy bodied deer. Texas Parks and Wildlife has been bringing in Missouri Breaks deer, Missouri Breaks bucks to add some weight.
Yeah.
But we've got this infusion of dorks that think that hunting is evil and Bambi is lovable.
Yeah.
And we've got a whole seems like we've got developers coming from a state. They look at a field and think that would look great as a housing development. And then as soon as they put up the housing development, the HOA, the very first rule the HOA makes is thou shalt not shoot Bambi.
Yeah.
So all these housing developments have got 80 to 120 pound deer on them that nobody can whack.
That eat all the flowers.
They eat all the flowers and they wander out on the highway. That's why 281 is not as built up as 35 yet.
Yeah.
But 281's getting built up. God damn it. It's getting built up. And it was the most whack fuck deer I saw were in the towns.
Well, I have a question for you. I moved to tiny town long after y'all did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who the devil thought it was a good idea to make this a wildlife sanctuary? I mean, did you have that many California
bird sanctuary.
Bird sanctuary.
bird sanctuary?
Bird sanctuary. Not wildlife.
Yeah.
Birds.
Just birds.
And that was a whole bunch of little old ladies that thought birds were pretty.
Which is why we have a shit ton of grackles.
Grackles and
Doves.
Canadian geese,
Grackles are horrible.
aren't they?
And lows and stuff, they're just
Yeah. But on the deer, the other problem is that you can get to the point that the deer do not have enough to eat. So they waste away and die. Or you end up with real skinny deer, they all get sick.
But
And that's
also,
happened a lot back on the East Coast.
oh,
And
no
it
kidding.
and it poisons the prey. What few prey animals there are because they're eating sick deer because it's what's available.
Yeah.
Well, down in South Texas, we're getting reliable jaguar sightings and reliable
Yeah.
black bear sightings.
Yep.
And that's because there's prey animals. And I can stop turning every field into a friggin' housing development.
Well, just make it illegal to be a Californian in Texas.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah, we've got CWD down here now, Kermit.
We've got it's where Jim and I normally hunt down in Hamilton County has popped up with a CWD case at a deer breeding facility where they're bringing in out of state deer.
Yeah.
Apparently, they forgot to screen one of them. So there's chronic wasting disease down there. It's in the Panhandle and it's on the New Mexico border.
Yeah.
And Rita gets twitchy about CWD. So any deer I take have to be one. I'm gonna have to get them tested. And Parks and Wildlife in Texas has free
Yeah.
chronic wasting disease testing. So if I take a deer, the sample goes straight to Parks and Wildlife for testing because she gets twitchy about CWD. Somebody said something about a monkey sanctuary. There actually is one. Be a great place for a cluster bomb.
Yeah.
Some jackass down in South Texas has a macaque rescue. Of all the monkeys, I don't like monkeys, and I really don't like monkeys.
I think we figured that out a while ago.
Macaques are a particular dislike of mine.
Apparently, he feels strongly enough that they're refuted.
Well, I mean, there's bits of monkeys all over this place.
One day when I'm really, really drunk, I'll tell you about getting banned from Red Lobster because I was trying to drown a monkey in a lobster tank.
What did those poor lobsters ever do to you?
I'll have to be really drunk because I don't think the statute of limitations is out on that one.
I'd love to see what you would have done behind the green door out in Hawaii.
Monkey, I dislike monkeys, but there is an actual monkey rescue down in south or south central Texas, and I don't know where it is, which is probably a good thing because I would be mass buying soap flakes. Yes, Frank. Yeah, exactly what you thought. I'll be mass buying soap flakes and cans of fuel from Sunoco.
Getting soap flakes, get tied. That's the right stuff.
What was that gel powder that the Army actually has gel powder for making napalm?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Much better than Downy soap flakes or styrofoam.
Yeah.
Wish I had some of that.
Styrofoam, Downy
Well,
soap
actually,
flakes, and gel powder all together?
Napalm made by DuPont was a mixture of Tide and
Okay, so like get a stand off YouTube. Continue that sentence. I was just gonna say.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I'll shut up
Rest
now.
that sentence.
Never mind.
I was dating Rita before I ever set foot back at a Red Lobster. I was seriously banned.
Yeah.
Not
Danville,
to talk
Virginia
about
is
that.
an interesting place.
Were you banned from that Red Lobster, or were you banned from Red Lobster as a corporation?
There were enough shocks people that I'm pretty sure I got. I was pretty sure. I know I was trespassed from that one. I don't. Trespassed is when cops show up and write you a trespass warning.
Danville, Indiana. Sorry.
Do not show up ever. Within 2 years, you don't show up here. If you do, you're arrested. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I'll have to be very drunk to tell that one.
I'm not a fan of Red Lobster.
Papa Do's is so much better.
Well, I saw, and this was up in Virginia. Saw at a Red Lobster when we went to eat supper one night. Saw them dump a lobster on the floor, and they picked it up, put it back on the plate, and served it.
Ooh.
Didn't even clean it off.
Of course not.
And I said, no.
No.
Oh, Todd, where did you see a 30-5 sign?
Really? The funny part was they actually took down my comments in the report, and apparently the patrol sergeant was most scandalous when I was detailing the proper method for drowning a monkey, and how amateurs never got it right. And apparently, I flew all over the sergeant. He was not a happy man.
Oh, Sign Mark, Tinseltown, and Grapevine.
Cinemark?
Yeah. That's another reason not to go to the movies.
What's this?
Apparently, there's no licensed firearms allowed sign on the Cinemark Theater in Grapevine. That's going to be a corporate.
Well, is it a legit legal one according to Texas law?
Well, he says it's 30-5, 30-5, 30-6, 30-5 sign. So
Yeah.
it sounds like it. Why does somebody have a monkey?
No, it does apply to CHL holders.
The 30-6 is
Six is the only one for- and
um,
five doesn't-
Well, he may have mistyped it. He should have said 30-6.
one of them is all guns, period, and one of them is license holders. You got 30-6 and 30. Okay, there's open carry. There.
Seven's open carry.
Say again.
7's open carry.
30-7 is open carry. No open carry. And then there's no concealed carry. No license.
That's 6. And then no license is 5.
No license is 5.
Yeah.
Because we're a constitutional carry state.
No,
so
he got the numbers right. So
We're a constitutionally carried state, so
Yeah.
there's trespass by license holder and there's trespass with a gun is two separate signs.
Yeah, so the 30-05 is trespass with a gun.
At least unless it's-
I don't worry about it. So
Yeah,
Well, for one thing, concealed should mean that they don't know you've got it,
yeah,
Yeah.
or unless it's a situation where you don't care that they know.
Texas gives property owners the option, which is perfectly constitutional in my view.
Yeah.
Property.
It's their property. If they don't want to conceal weapons or licensed carriers, that's fine.
As long as they're clear about it, so you
Yes,
can
yes.
decide it has to be there.
Yeah, as long as I'm sorry, but my wallet's in the same pants that my gun is. So
Yeah.
moving on. What about swords? Swords are legal. They do have swords and blackjacks and switchblades are all legal. There are, I forget what the technical term, the legal term is area restricted. There are places you can't take a area restricted knife or blade. But I don't, again, it's one of those things I see that I turn around and walk away. So
I still remember that incident that I had at United with that bat during COVID.
oh Jesus. Man, we had a whole bunch of morons in Itchy Paw during COVID.
I think you could just leave off the whole itchy paw part and just
Yeah.
do that statement.
Well, she was ranting at the old guy that was behind me in line because he didn't have a mask on.
Right.
And then he turned a little bit and she saw the Ruger Vaquero 357 on his hip and went, "Oh my God, a gun, a gun. He's got a gun." And she started backing up. And then she looks at me and goes, "Are you going to do anything about that?" And I said, "No, mine's under my shirt. Why should I?"
Probably the same bat
Out the door she went.
went there and there was some bimbo had an actual VHS camcorder on a
Yeah.
tripod. And she had a mask and a pink spray bottle of what you remember that one?
Yeah.
What she claimed was water. And she was making a point by running up people and spraying them with a mist of water about not wearing a mask and sneezing. And I threatened to shank her.
Yeah.
I offered to stab her.
Yeah.
Because don't do spray with that, I'll stab you.
So the manager comes over and goes, "What did you do?" And I looked at him and went, "Me? Nothing. It was him." And the old guy behind me says, "I got one lung. I lost the other one in Vietnam. I ain't wearing no fucking mask. And yes, I got a gun on for my protection."
Welcome to Texas.
And the manager went, "Okay, well, I guess I can put all this shit in her cart back." Went on and we went and checked out.
One of the things DOJ had a problem with Texas voting was the fact that acceptable form of ID includes license to carry.
Yeah.
So if you want to vote, and in Texas you have to show ID.
Yeah.
Because we're smart, we have
That's
common
what I
sense.
used the other day.
Me too.
Yeah.
You could use your license to carry. Apparently, DOJ has issues with that. It's government picture ID. They can go pound sand.
Oh, Bill, way to go.
What?
Combatives class is covering saps and jacks. No, Julie, this guy was older, pretty much bent, stooped, dark gray hair, and I would say probably 5'8", 5'7" or 5'8", if he stood up straight.
I need to get on their SAP course. I miss carrying my SAPs.
Todd, actually up here they didn't. They laughed
What's that?
when you use the CHL for.
When I was voting, for you, those you are in Texas, you select on a touchscreen, and it prints out a paper copy, and it's got everything you chose and a QR code.
Yeah.
And then you look at your paper copy, and you go over and you feed into a scanner, and then it saves the paper copy for later if it needs to be audited. And there was an issue earlier. Y'all may have heard during early voting. Somebody down in the Metro mess, somebody announced that his or her vote for Trump had been switched by the machine to a vote for Harris. You may have noted that has disappeared out of the headlines.
Yeah.
Because when you fat finger the screen and you pick Harris, you don't get to blame it on the machine.
Yeah.
But the one of the poll guy with a very cowboy mustache,
It was quite charming. So.
as John says, quite charming. You when you got your printed one, he said, "Now look at it and make sure that it's who you voted for." And I was,
Yeah.
But there was an old boy, good old boy, and he looked at him and said, "How do I know that QR code is going to enter what I voted for?" And the cowboy said, "Sir, this ain't California. This is Texas. If you voted, who you voted for is going to be entered. You're going to be fine."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This ain't California
Or Georgia
or Georgia.
Or Arizona or Nevada
or Pennsylvania.
or
So-
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So they will do audits, and they will go through and audit. They'll do audits to make sure. I don't think Texas is going to have any computer irregularities.
No.
We're too set up. The individual counties, they're going to do audits. They'll check. I don't think there's going to be any computer dinking with the vote.
If there is, it'll either be Harris or
If there is, it'll get caught.
Yeah.
I have complete faith that because
Harris County, Travis County, or Dallas County.
What county's Houston in?
Harris,
Harris.
Yes.
Yeah.
if they're connected to the internet, there's a problem. Yes, but like I said, the audits, they'll catch it. And if they're they're connected to the internet, if somebody logs in, it'll be logged, and I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm
Not worried
not
at
too
all.
worried
Well,
about-
we've wasted another hour of your time.
Holy
folks.
crap, we have.
If you haven't voted yet, go vote. That's your job today, is to vote.
Yeah, go vote, and then do me a favor. Stop doom scrolling the news and stay off of social media. Once you
Grass.
Brian says I
Go
just
outside, be a vote.
took a guy's marijuana card for an ID. If it works, it ain't wrong.
At least he had ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go vote. Then go touch grass. Go fish.
Yeah.
Go do something that has nothing. There's too much angst and stress anyway.
Yeah.
And I've talked too many people off the ledge.
Yeah.
Last night and today that vote, stay off the internet.
Yeah, you're not going to find anything out today anyway.
And no matter how it happens, we're going to be okay. We may not be comfortable, but we're going to be okay.
Yep.
Go vote and then go fish or go garden. I've decided that by God, in 2025, I'm going to grow my fucking peppers. If it hair lips every cannibal in the Congo. So
You've been saying that for 5 years now.
well,
You
this
haven't done it.
time, I think I figured out what I did wrong last time. So
That's what he's been saying for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
isn't it?
so
So remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the petty stuff.
be safe, guys.
Be safe, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye-bye.